There are football nights that make you believe in magic again. This was one of them. A night where Stamford Bridge wasn't just a stadium, it was a cathedral. Where football wasn't just a sport, it was a religion. Chelsea versus PSG. A final. A clash of two superpowers. But what unfolded? Nobody, and I mean nobody, saw this coming. The final whistle blew with the scoreboard reading Chelsea 3, PSG 0. It was not just a scoreline, it was a statement. And at the heart of that statement stood one name. Cole Palmer. Not just a footballer tonight. A poet with boots. A magician with a mission. And most importantly, a leader who didn't ask for the spotlight, but stole it anyway. Palmer's brilliance wasn't accidental. It was deliberate, calm, calculated, cold-blooded. In a match where Chelsea faced the mighty PSG, arguably the most stacked team on the planet, it was Palmer who bent the narrative his way. He didn't just perform, he performed with purpose. Right from the kickoff, there was a strange tension in the air. Chelsea knew they weren't the favourites. The world knew it. PSG came in undefeated, unshaken, unbothered. Mbappe, Dembele, Vitinha, Marquinhos, world-class names all over the pitch. But it wasn't the names on paper that mattered tonight. It was heart, grit, hunger. Palmer opened the scoring with a stunner. One touch to settle, one look at the goal, and bang. The net rippled, the crowd erupted, and suddenly Chelsea believed. But Palmer wasn't done. Minutes later, he found space inside the box again, barely marked, and with the composure of a seasoned assassin, slotted the ball into the bottom corner past a diving Donnarumma. 2 goals up inside 30 minutes. Against PSG. This wasn't just surprising. It was shocking. Commentators were scrambling for words. Social media blew up. But for Palmer, it was just another step in a journey that began long before this night. This wasn't just about goals. It was personal. For the kid once told he wasn't strong enough, wasn't fast enough, wasn't experienced enough, this was vindication. The final dagger came from João Pedro, and guess who set it up? Palmer again. But this assist wasn't flashy. It was intelligent. He baited the PSG defenders, dragged them wide, then played a cutting pass through the middle. João Pedro didn't even need a second touch. He buried it. 3-0. Game, set, trophy. But what made this victory so special wasn't just the scoreline. It was the emotion. The fire. The unity. Enzo Fernandez, Mudryk, Cucurella, Gusto, every single Chelsea player played like they were possessed. They pressed with intensity. They defended like warriors. They attacked with purpose. Even Kepa, back in goal, made crucial saves that reminded us why he's still a trusted name when it counts. And PSG. They were stunned. You could see it in Mbappe's eyes. The frustration. The disbelief. This was supposed to be their year. Their moment. Their trophy. But they never found rhythm. Never looked like themselves. Maybe it was the pressure. Maybe it was Palmer. Maybe it was destiny. For Chelsea fans, this night will be carved in memory forever. After a season full of ups and downs, managerial changes, injuries, inconsistency, this was the reward. A complete performance. A shutout win. A trophy against the best. For the new generation of fans who've only heard stories of Chelsea's golden nights, this was their proof. That the badge still means something. That the pride is still alive. That the DNA is intact. And let's talk about Palmer again, because you can't ignore the kid. He's not flashy in the typical sense. He's not doing endless step-overs or running past 5 defenders. But he plays with intelligence, with maturity, with confidence. His decision-making is elite. His timing is razor-sharp. He knows when to pass, when to shoot, and when to slow the game down. That's rare. Especially for someone his age. Tonight, he wasn't just the best player on the pitch. He was the spirit of the team. The coaching staff deserves credit too. Chelsea's tactical setup was brave. Instead of parking the bus against PSG's firepower, they played on the front foot. The midfield trio suffocated Vitinha and Ruiz. The backline stayed compact yet flexible. Every player stuck to the plan. And when you combine that structure with moments of individual brilliance, this is what you get. A dominant performance in a final. Now let's not pretend like this result was expected. In fact, most experts predicted a PSG win. And who could blame them? The form, the names, the aura, it was all in their favor. But that's the beauty of football. It doesn't always follow logic. It follows energy. Passion. That invisible fire that sometimes burns brighter in one team than the other. In the post-match interviews, Palmer remained humble. He credited the team. He thanked the fans. He smiled, but didn't brag. That's the kind of player you build a team around. Not just talented, but grounded. Hungry. You could tell this wasn't the end for him, it was just the beginning. The fans, oh man, the fans. Stamford Bridge sang like never before. Flares. Chants. Tears. From the east stand to the shed end, it was a party. A blue wave of joy. For 90 minutes, the world stopped, and all that existed was Chelsea. People hugged strangers. Kids cried happy tears. Old fans smiled like kids again. This is why we watch football. This is why we love it. As for PSG, questions will be asked. Why did they collapse? Why was there no response? Why did Mbappe go missing when it mattered most? These questions will echo through their locker room for weeks. But tonight isn't about their failure, it's about Chelsea's triumph. This match will be studied, remembered, replayed. Not just because of the score, but because of the story. A young squad, written off by many, rising to the occasion. A star, Cole Palmer, shining on the biggest stage. A coach who believed in his players. And a club that reminded the world, never count out Chelsea. So where do we go from here? For Chelsea, this could be the spark. The turning point. A new era. And if Palmer continues this form, we might just be witnessing the rise of a new Premier League icon. For the fans, this night will live forever. A beautiful memory made of goals, glory, and blue pride. And for the rest of the world watching, this was a warning. Chelsea are back. Not as underdogs, but as champions. This is what happens when talent meets belief. When a team finds its soul. When a player like Palmer decides to take the weight of the badge and carry it with grace. 3-0. Against PSG. In a final. No fluke. No luck. Just football at its purest. Chelsea football. Blue blood football. And we were lucky enough to witness it. Chelsea lifted the trophy. But it was more than silverware. It was redemption. Resurgence. Revolution. Stamford Bridge won't forget this night. And neither will PSG. The future's bright. The future's blue. Welcome back, Chelsea. Welcome back, champions.